Israel that believe on his gospel through the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, talking this truth, along with the sincere brethren that is also laboring in his work as well. To you, I say Shalom. And this lesson is pretty much going out to you Israelites. We call you blended Israelites because you jump from doctrine to doctrine, from camp to camp. Alright, when the scriptures clearly tell you that you ought to obey the gospel of the Most High. And this is pretty much going to be to try to expose you the fact that you listening to all these different doctrines and philosophies of these different camps is going to lead to your destruction unless you bound yourself to one doctrine, and that's the true doctrine that he presented unto his men. Alright, because actually David put a snare and a trap for 2/3 of Israel because of what they did in their past life, in which they killed the prophets. And if you fall in their stead, then you're gonna be led into that trap, dealing with these different doctrines. Alright? Okay, so just because you came to the fact that you're an Israelite and you feel like you got some kind of salvation just because you know you're an Israelite, you're completely off, man. You are commanded to obey the gospel, which we want to prove right here. Alright, so we're going to start off in Psalm 69th chapter and the 22nd verse. King David said, "Let the table become a snare before them, and let that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap." Alright, so what's supposed to be for your welfare? It's dealing with this gospel. During the end times, he put that curse on 2/3 of his people because they are the ones that denied the prophets. Alright, and our Lord Yahushua actually had that same mindset. Alright, because he didn't pray for the whole nation of Israel. He prayed for the elect, the ones that were going to receive the gospel. Alright, and reincarnation is indeed biblical and it's in effect today. We're dealing with the prophets that have killed we're dealing with the people that killed the prophets in the past. They're back today and they're being deceived from the same curse. John the 17th chapter and the 6th verse. This is Yahushua. He said, "I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me. And they have kept thy word." And these are the men that were back with Yahushua back in Rome. Alright? Like I said, reincarnation is real. And the ones that received it back then are going to receive it today. You have false prophets back in Rome also. Alright? And those same false prophets are back today. So he revealed his name to a certain group of men. And the Bible is going to tell you who those men are, basically, if you read the scriptures. John 17:7, "Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee, for I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received it, and have known surely that I came out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. And these are the elect, the men that he gave his word to," because us in the truth, we understand, the men of Great Millstone, we understand 100% that the truth was given to them and us. Alright? There's no doubt about it. John 17:9, "I pray for them, I pray not for the world." So the Most High, through his Son, is praying for the elect of the nation of Israel. He's not even praying for 2/3 the people that King David put a curse on. "I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine." And that's the 1/3. Alright. "And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them." Right? This is Isaiah 9:15, "The ancient and the honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed." So what is that saying? That's saying that if you're being led by a false prophet, then you're led to be destroyed. 1 John 2:21, "I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know the truth, and that no lie is of the truth." So when he says that no lies of the truth, you can't have no flaw in your doctrine. Going back to Isaiah 9:15, "The ancient and the honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail." So you're a prophet teaching lies, man. If you don't know about reincarnation, if you don't know that the mark of the beast is an RFID microchip, you're a false prophet. He's a false prophet. Isaiah 9:17, "Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall he have mercy on the fatherless and widows, for everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth that speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Alright, so it's still time for you to repent, man. Ephesians 4:4. There's one body and one spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling. Alright, so it's one body and it's one spirit. You're only going to gain that spirit by obeying one gospel. You're not going to receive that spirit by jumping around from here and there from different doctrines and listening to these different camps. And it's going to lead you to destruction. Ephesians 4:5, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. Alright? And that's dealing with the elect, the ones that know the truth. So it's one Lord, it's one faith, it's one baptism. That's all tied into one gospel. And if you're not obeying that gospel, and if you're not preaching in the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, it's impossible, man, for you to receive that gift of the Holy Spirit. Ephesians 4:13, till we all come to the unity of the faith, alright, and of the knowledge of the Son, Yahweh Shai, and of the Father, Yahweh, alright. Read it again, Ephesians 4:13, till we all come to the knowledge of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, which his name is Yahweh Shai, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai, of Mashiach. Alright, so you got these different camps that are trying to combine and come together with different doctrines. That's not how the Most High works. The Most High requires you to obey his gospel, to unify in his doctrine. Alright, he is not the author of confusion. So if you're trying to come together with these different camps, man, and these different doctrines, it's not gonna. If you believe in one thing and someone else is believing another thing, how is it gonna mesh together? It doesn't match. It don't match. The Lord says he's not the author of confusion. Alright, there's a scripture that says, can two walk together and said they be agreed? You have to agree on the same thing in order for you to walk together, man. And that's in all phases. 1 Peter 4:17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So the Most High has a gospel, one gospel. It's one spirit, one baptism that you are required to have in order for you to be qualified for salvation. Like I said, David put a curse on 2/3 not to get it. That welfare, which is dealing with his doctrine, which is the gospel of your salvation. If you can't get it, then hey, you set up for destruction. 1 Peter 4:18, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Galatians 1:6, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Mashiach unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Mashiach. Now this is dealing with people that know the truth and they intentionally pervert the gospel. Alright, so the ones that know the truth, the ones that know that great millstone has the truth, it's going to be some of them that pervert the gospel. But for the ones outside of that, they automatically canceled out. They can't get it. This is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, as I was saying, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. One body, one spirit, one faith. All ties into one gospel. Let's go to Revelation. Revelation 19:10, this is pretty much telling you what your prophet or your teachers should be telling you. Now this is how they're supposed to be preaching. Revelation 19:10, I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So if your leaders ain't speaking about what's to come, because to prophesy means to say before. They're not telling you about the upcoming danger that's coming to this world. they're not preparing you. They're not getting you ready for the things that are coming. The Lord's preparing to send all kinds of plagues, pestilence, and evils and wars, and you're going to be caught up in it, and you're not prepared mentally for that. So prophets are commanded to prophesy, to say before, to warn the people of the upcoming danger. All right. So the spirit and the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. You're a preacher and ain't preaching about prophecy, in which they are not allowed to do that in the 501c3. You have that contract, the 501c3 contract. It disallows you to preach about upcoming events. All right. So it's important for you to understand and to pinpoint that your pastors may be preaching false doctrine because of the 501c3 charter, in which you're not even supposed to sign a contract with the heathen. But if they did that, then they are disallowed from preaching about upcoming events. Alright. You got IUIC, ISUPK, you got GOCC, HOI. You get all these different camps. They're not prophesying, they're not telling you what's to come, which is complete chaos and destruction and war and death. Only group that's preaching about that is Great Millstone. This is Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and of great kingdoms, and against great kingdoms like of war and of evil and of pestilence. Alright, so what other group is doing that besides Great Millstone? All the prophets come in the same stead. They're doing the same things that their forefathers did. Right? The Most High sends his prophets out to warn the people to turn away from the idols before the destruction comes. And this is what the true prophets of the Lord does. Alright, they're going to be preaching something that the majority of people are not going to want to hear. Alright? And they all come in the same stead, man. Jeremiah 28:8. Prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and of great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. We tell you that America's going to be destroyed. There's going to be many evils. You're going to have pestilence. Now you got this coronavirus, which is about to completely shut down America. And if you're not prepared mentally, man, you're going to bug out. And we've been preparing for this day. We've been preparing, because we preach about the stuff that people don't want to hear. But ultimately, they're going to have to deal with it when that stuff comes. All right. Jeremiah 28:9, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So the Lord's prophet is going to be prophesying about something that people don't want to hear. And that's why they got stoned and killed in times past, because they, people are designed to fulfill the lust of the flesh, and if you tell them something that they don't want to hear, all right, they're gonna deny it. This is 1 Corinthians 1:27. But the Most High chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the Most High Yahweh had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And the prophets of the Lord are going to come in the same stead as Yahushua, all right, who is the Savior, of course, and he came in riding on a donkey. All right, he was not considered to be rich or appealing to the flesh. He came as a lowly man, right? And the prophets of the Lord are going to come in that same stead. So did all the other prophets. So when you see men like Great Millstone with the garments which are not fancy and they're not appealing towards the eyes, it's really a setup and a trap for you not to take them serious. The Most High wants to blind you because you've been carnal. So if you're not being spiritual, then it's impossible for you to hearken unto the true man of the Lord. And that's going to be a stumbling block. That's what King David set before you. A carnal stumbling block. And that's why you can't get it. This is 1 Corinthians 1:28. And the base things of the world and the things which are despised have the Most High chosen. Who is more despised than Great Millstone? It's the most despised group of the Israelites, because they're not about coming together for the sake of men. They're not coming together to try to please men. They come together for the sake of our Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, in the doctrine, the true doctrine, because we preach from the word and not based off men's feelings. Right? The Most High is going to gather people according to His word, and that's it, man. And the base things of the world again, and the things which are despised of the Most High chosen, they are the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh shall glory in His presence. You got people dressing up, man, like they already in the kingdom, and with you in your captivity, man, you got these different Israelite groups that pretty much, you know, they're motivated by the flesh and money. They call Great Millstone the Bumbleites, you know, the bums or whatever, because they have raggedy garments. But it is what it is, man. We operate out the spirit, not the flesh. Yahweh called the scribes and the Pharisees out for doing the same thing, you know, because they were people of the flesh. They looked good on the outside, but inside they were full of dead men's bones. We're going to get that right here in Matthew, the 23rd chapter and the 25th verse. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites, for you may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, clean first that which is in within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also." So you got to clean the inward, man, before you can clean the outside. All right. Matthew 23 and 27. "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward." Read it again. "For ye are like the whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness." The Most High looks at the spirit, not the outside. He's not carnal, like, you know, men are. Matthew 23:28. "Even so you also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would have not been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers." Alright, so the ones that were back, the scribes and Pharisees that were in Rome at the time, they were the children of the ones that killed the prophets in the past, and they were there to be blinded. You know, they couldn't receive Yahweh being that sacrifice, you know, the Savior to come, because they were carnal. And the Most High, through David, put a curse on them because they killed the prophets. It said, "You serpents, ye generations of vipers." This is Matthew 23 and 33. "You serpents, ye generations of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell?" It's talking about Judgment Day, ultimately the destruction of America, because they're here today. Matthew 23 and 34. "Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, the son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation." That generation from Rome is back today, doing the same thing. Matthew 23 and 37. "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered the children together, even as a hen gathereth the chickens under her wings. It's like, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till you shall say, Blessed he that cometh in the name of the Lord." Alright, so prophets that killed the prophets back then or back today, and they killing Yahweh spiritually because they deny him. It's the same thing. Alright, they did it back then physically, and they're doing today spiritually. They denying the prophet, the true prophets of the Lord, which was sent by Yahweh. Romans 8 and 6. "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Like I was saying, if you're looking at the outside appearance of all these camps, you know, you liking how they present themselves, but you're not taking heed to what they're preaching about, and you're gonna be distracted. You're gonna be steered away from the true message. So if you're looking at them from a spiritual standpoint, from having a spiritual mind, according to the scripture, then you can see the dead bones inside of them, from a spiritual standpoint. And if you're not spiritual minded, you can never see that. You're gonna go out the flesh, and you're gonna be attracted to what they present outwardly and not inwardly. Ephesians 1:13, in whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, right? No lies of the truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believe, you were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise. So, like I said, you obeying that gospel that was sent by Yahushua, then you're gonna be sealed. That's how you present it righteous through the Spirit. You got to be presented righteous through the Spirit, through the gospel that He presented. This is how you are made clean. Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. Just going into the ceiling. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and that seal is dealing with this gospel. Ephesians 1:13, in whom also you trusted. Afterward you heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation. Most High requires you to obey His gospel. So, back to Revelation chapter 7, verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Alright, so once you seal with the name of Yahweh and Yahushua and the gospel that was presented, then you're exempt, presented exempt from judgment. But if not, then you're going to be damned alone. You're going to be counted as an unbeliever. You're going to be damned for destruction. Verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel, and they were all sealed through that gospel, as I pointed out, Ephesians 1:13, the gospel of your salvation. And this pretty much solidifies who has the gospel. This is Revelations 18:21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And that key word, of course, is great millstone. Alright. And like a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. And that's what's been used to cast down Babylon, which is America. And these are subtle clues that the Most High spits out that you're not going to pick up on it. You can't pick up on it. You've been blinded. Alright, so apparently the Most High, through His Son, gave His word to them in a great millstone. And they followed the scriptures and they obeyed the scriptures and the gospel. So if you're hopping camp to camp, if you want to save your life, you better stick with great millstone. If not, hey, it's on you. So you got your own salvation. If you can't get it, it ain't for you. So hopefully that was edifying to anyone that may have watched this lesson and have been watching camp to camp, watching all these different camps, and can't really get an understanding, because if you're watching all these different camps, it's impossible for you to understand pretty much anything. Take it from me, because I've been in this situation, all these different camps, and I got nowhere until I bowed my neck and listened to Great Millstone and understood that gospel, and then I started getting a greater understanding. So it will behoove you to do the same thing. So with that, I hope that was edifying. Till next time, I say shalom.